Me, like millions of other people, fell in love with this series. It wasn't just good, it was great. There are very few shows now that can create this kind of magic. And with the writer's strike going on, I'm not sure if we're ever going to see any real magical shows for quite some time. Sheer boredom is the real reason why I binge watched the first season of True Blood. While watching it, I realized that this remarkable HBO series isn't just about fairies and vampires.
Do I taste different from other people?
Yes. What are you?
It's about relationships. More importantly, it's the show about how we as people connect and disconnect and avoid relationships while dealing with our trauma. So in this video, we're going to analyze many of the wonderful characters from True Blood to really understand what makes this show great. So please stay tuned.
Shame on you.
Who is this?
Vampire is a perversion of humanity, and you, vampire lover, are perverting our community by bringing one into the open.
I have to be honest, I was never a big fan of vampire shows or movies, except for Interview with a Vampire, that is. And I don't think you need to understand why I grew this sick fascination with the movie, the series, and the book. I mean, just look at the eye candy. In truth, I didn't jump on a True Blood bandwagon when it was first released. I didn't watch it until years later, and I was totally transfixed.
There's vampire in your cleavage.
Okay, ew.
Yes, there was some eye candy, but more importantly, there was a storyline. In fact, vampires derive from some of the oldest folklore known to man. They are known to feed on men, draining their blood and stealing their souls, so to speak.
Ladies first.
Stop! Suki is mine.
However, True Blood doesn't portray vampires as parasitic beasts with no human qualities. No, vampires in True Blood were once human and are yearning to reconnect with people in some way, shape, or form. Bill Compton best embodies this concept. He is a Civil War veteran looking to return home after the war when he is attacked and later turned into a vampire. Bill had been roaming around the world alone, trying hard to hold on to some semblance of his humanity, while other vampires seem to embrace their wild, uninhibited nature. Vampires in spirituality represent beasts or fiends who drain others of their energy. They are self-serving, self-absorbed, self-righteous, and yes, my friends, they are delusional.
Honey, if we can't kill people, what's the point of being a vampire?
In many cases, these spiritual vampires are cut off from the source or the light, so to speak. In short, they live in the darkness. There's no balance between light and dark, so there's no self-reflection or growth.
They share a nest. And when vampires live in nests, they become more cruel, more vicious.
As a result of this, they are forced to derive virtually all their sustenance from other people. They become parasitic, delusional with thoughts of superiority and entitlement.
Vampires think about one thing, and one thing only. Drinking your blood.
Brawn and power, both skills needed to continually exploit their victims. Yet the spiritual vampire is a slave to the blood, and if their source is cut off in any type of way, they implode.
Some poor fangbanger, they're saying now. Some vampires like to keep a human around for sex and blood.
The spiritual vampire is so consumed with darkness that he can't love. You need to be exposed to the light in order to love. So they drift through life in a perpetual state of emptiness and longing, with only cheap thrills and bursts of pleasures to give them comfort. Bill Compton is the spiritual vampire in True Blood. His efforts to mainstream represents his desire to break away from the nest and reconnect with his humanity.
As you can see, I did not burst into flames. We vampires are not minions of the devil.
He chooses to only drink true blood so that he can break the hold that human blood has over him. He walks alone, wanting to prove to the people of Bontam that vampires were once people too. He is handsome, charming, and after many years of darkness, he manages to fall in love. Naturally, a vampire like Bill Compton would never be able to fall in love with a mere human. He is only able to open his heart to a woman who is part fae. She is bright, lovable, kind, and sometimes a little annoying, but she always seems to mean well. In True Blood, Sookie Stackhouse embodies the light, while Bill Compton and the rest of the vampires represent darkness. The attraction between Sookie and Bill is magnetic, because what do vampires crave more than blood? Well, they crave sunlight.
I can smell the sunlight on your skin.
I have to say that Sookie and Bill were one of the best power couples in television history. Aside from Edward and Bella from Twilight and Rick and Michonne from The Walking Dead, I really can't think of anyone else who can beat them. Anyway, I digress. What I'm really trying to say is that Bill and Sookie had depth. Why? Well, because their relationship represented many of the qualities that we look for in our own relationships. In most cases, we're simply looking for people to complete us. I know, it sounds really corny, right? In truth, we are subconsciously looking for people to heal our wounds and make us feel whole again.
When I'm around him, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it's like I almost feel normal.
You see, we mystics believe that we are born on a vibration of love, but life and trauma weakens us over time. Then we look for certain people and even experiences to bring us back to that high vibrational state of love and frequency.
Your libido will be more active.
Is that it?
Let's take a look at Sookie. She was bullied in high school and most of her adult life. She was part fae and considered to not only be different by the townspeople of Bontam, but straight up weird. She could hear people's thoughts, feel their emotions, and even see their experiences.
See, that's exactly it. If I don't stop myself from it, I hear everybody's deepest, darkest secrets. I'm sorry, that's just too much information.
Now, this is a gift of telepathy that I would love to have, but for Sookie, it was a curse. She had a difficult time trying to control it. She could hear people's deepest and darkest fears and sinister thoughts.
She can, listen to my thoughts whenever she wanted
No,
to.
see, she doesn't want to listen to anybody's thoughts. She wants to not hear them. But that requires constant work on her part.
She had a terrible time dating because people are just jerks. Sookie, the crazy small-town waitress, was destined to be alone and become a spinster.
I think she's retarded.
That is until Vampire Bill walks into the bar and changes her life forever. The attraction is magnetic, both on and off the screen. Both characters have qualities that the other admires. Sookie has the light and sweet blood that Vampire Bill craves, while Sookie is able to just relax and let her hair down without having to worry about hearing Bill Compton's thoughts. Sookie and Bill fall in love. Only Sookie falls deeper and deeper into the pits of darkness.
This one, she wanted to die.
How do you know?
Everyone who comes here does.
She is the target of a serial killer because she associates with vampires. Worse, she becomes a vampire magnet where every Eric, Malcolm, and Diane wants to get a taste of that sweet blood.
Honestly, did you think you could keep her to yourself?
This makes Vampire Bill very insecure because he innately understands that he is incapable of protecting her from these bloodthirsty fiends. As the series develops, we see Sookie slipping more and more into the darkness. She seems to almost always be in trouble. until she finally stakes Bill, releasing them both from the downward spiral of negativity. But we'll leave that for another video.